He's a great guy.
When are you here in
Sorry?
Seattle? When do you play here?
We're playing 21st of August.
Tulalip. The Tulalip Amphitheater.
Tulalip
Yep.
Amphitheater, 21st of August. I hope I'm around. Hang on.
5th or 21st?
21st.
21st.
June,
You got to pay
July.
for a ticket, Bob.
Do I? Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry, Joe's taking all of his
You know what?
relatives.
That's a Thursday night. I don't have a gig.
Oh, there
I
you
want to
go.
see you. Can I
Oh,
come?
no.
Do I really have to pay for it? Do I have to call your
Yeah,
wife?
You're welcome. Yeah.
Okay. Call Gigi. Wow. All right, new album. Tell me a little bit about it. We talked. You were in California making it.
Yeah, L.A.
You're in L.A. in a studio, living that. Isn't that like? People don't make albums the same way they used to. You used to like move into a recording studio and record companies would
Yeah.
sometimes spend massive amounts of money, like $500,000 on a recording budget. And now you basically plug in someone's iPhone and you start recording, right? And it's-
Not quite like that.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
rock band app. Works like a charm.
but it has the process has changed, right? Tell us
Yeah,
how.
but we actually spend a lot of time making sure we know what we're doing before we get in there.
Pre-production.
Yeah, and we spent a couple of weeks piecing it all together.
And are you doing that in some kind of warehouse playing, or are you in someone's living room?
There's plenty of rehearsal places.
Rehearsal space,
And,
okay.
Yeah, and
So you work
Yeah.
out the arrangements of the songs that you like them before you even start.
yeah, then we record them in that format.
Got it.
And then pretty much everybody goes and replaces everything they've done.
Oh, okay, so when you're rehearsing, you're recording, but it's like a scratch track.
Right.
Oh.
Well, working with Roy Thomas Baker, who's
He engineered the
Pretty
whole album,
amazing.
right?
Yeah, let's talk about all the stuff Roy Thomas Baker has done for the people that
Oh.
don't know.
Aerosmith, all kinds of
Queen.
stuff. Queen.
Did he do Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yes, he did.
He did,
actually.
didn't he?
I think he
Scaramouche, Scaramouche.
Oh,
Will
no,
you
but
do the
that
fandango
was a
thing?
brilliant piece of...
I always thought they said shot a moose. Isn't that what
Shot a
they're
moose
saying?
is
Isn't that what they
frequently
shot the lyric?
it's frequently
Can
what
you
people
do the
mistake.
fandango?
Oh, man.
That's what I
What
do.
the hell's the fandango?
That's the place where you buy the movie
Buy the
tickets
movie
before you get
tickets.
to the
Sure,
theater.
Yeah. Get
All
your
makes
ticks on-
sense now.
Get your ticks on Fandango, sure.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know any of the lyrics. Roundabout, at least, I know the lyrics. And so, wow. So, a producer like that, what does he bring to the table?
Pretty, really great drum sound for a start.
For you, yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't have to worry about the drums at all. I mean, I think I had something like 22 mics
On your drums.
on my drums alone.
And does he come in and tune the drums and do things to them? Because I know a drummer,
No,
as a
he
drummer,
leaves-
you like a certain sound, right?
Yeah, well, he leaves that up to you. But
Okay.
Then
Then it's his job to
He
bring to
manipulates it
to
and
take
makes it
your
sound.
instrument and make it fit into the
Yeah.
record.
I was never worried about the mixing part.
Right.
And this,
He loves that hard hitting drums, kind of up in the mix.
Yeah.
this album's called Heaven and Earth, and so far, nobody has heard it.
Nobody's heard this album.
Nobody's heard it yet, but we've got the whole record.
We've got the whole thing, and I'm going to dub it off and throw it up on Napster in about 5 minutes. You can all have it for free.
You see, that's what it is nowadays.
That's why you didn't want to come in.
You can't win, Bob.
Can't win.
We tried to
But
warn
we'll
you.
give you lots of nice publicity.
You can't win. You spend all this time, and then it just goes out
It
there.
goes out
and
there.
As Chris Wise said to me, the train has left the station. Boom, it's gone.
Yeah, it's a whole different business. Now, I read that the business these days, even though that kind of sucks for record sales, but the business is really about live touring now, that people
Yeah,
want to have the
pretty much.
experience. And they want to see you. They want to see you
Yeah.
and remember their youth and who they were in the car with and what they were doing when that 8-minute song came
Well,
on.
that's a great way of putting you've been in this business too long. No, yeah, people want to meet you and see who is it behind all this stuff,
Right.
you know. And it's a lot of fun still, you know. You got to make it fun.
And Billy Sherwood is the guy he's the mix this whole thing down, right?
Well, what happened became against a brick wall as far as time goes. We had a delivery date, and so yeah, Billy did. He recorded the vocals and that kind of stuff, and then at the end he put it all. He's really good at kind of encompassing everything and making it sound good.
Wow. And then you tour and you play your hits, but you also play something from the new album. You have to, right?
We're planning on doing a couple of tracks.
Yeah. So
One of which.
Can we hear one now?
We're going to play now.
Okay. And you brought it in. The last thing you gave me, by the way, to me, it's a special souvenir. I will never forget it. You gave me the album, and it was on a USB that was shaped like a key.
Yeah.
Remember that?
And you never gave it back.
Of course I did.
Why, it's a lovely souvenir.
I think
You said, I'll let you borrow this. I need it
Yeah.
back. And I was like, no way.
He's also got a souvenir hedge trimmer that his neighbor let him borrow.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
never
yeah,
anybody's
yeah.
I
done.
think
Sure.
that's why Alan personally brought
That
it
was
in.
Peter Frampton's hedge trimmer, and he used it on his own hair. It was special. But that's amazing that you can put all of that work on a little keychain thing.
Yeah, well,
what does today's
that
look like?
little kind of thing was 8 gigabytes.
There was a big one at the time. Now
Yeah.
8 is small.
Oh, I know. 8's small.
Can
now.
I see today's keychain thing? Or does Pedro have
I
it?
think Pedro's loading
You
it in
can
there.
see with your eyes.
Pedro, hold it up for me.
Well, I just put
Yeah,
it
this
like
first song, The Game,
Yeah.
was inspired by Chris Squire.
All right. I see you have it plugged into the
Yeah.
computer.
I have a question for Alan. Which song do you want? Because you gave us a number 2, but we don't have number 2 in that flash drive that you gave us.
I don't know.
What?
Oh, does the drive have the song label? Songs labeled?
It has number 1 and go from number 1 to number 3, but
No,
it doesn't have number 2.
No, you need number 2 and number 4.
Exactly, but number 2 is not here, so someone must have taken
Someone
it.
stole it off your flash
Already,
drive.
look at that.
Well, just play number 1.
I played number
1.
4, actually. He wants number 4.
Number 4? Okay, what's the name of the song, number 4?
It's called number 4.
It's
To Ascend.
To Ascend. It's the song I wrote with the singer. in
Okay.
the band.
Ladies, and what's his name?
John Davison.
John Davidson, right? We talked about him last time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first time anywhere in the world. Get your recorders rolling so you can bootleg them. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah, 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Yes.
Were you drifting on a strange tide, collecting visions from the other side, caught between day and night? You were stealing moments, past hours of your life, and balancing on the edge of a knife. Memories of once longer days, they keep on flooding back. The adventurous times when we traveled life's road, though we were often blind, but with a lot more heart and for each other, taking the time on a wing and a prayer, a wounded bird in the hand, with the eyes of a child come to understand. I will open the book, raise the pen, let it reinvent my life again. Take me from where I am. As a free bird flies from the hand, to ascend, to ascend. Were you catching the last train to nowhere, playing out scenes of dark desert days? Put it behind you now. Call out those bleak shadows from your mind, and never again slip through the cracks. Memories of once longer days, they keep on flooding back. The adventure
beautiful.
Man.
That's a lovely, haunting melody.
The ballad type songs.
Yeah, it's
in there.
beautiful.
Drumming's a little weak,
You
though.
can't get
Yeah.
track 2 working? Is it's not on there?
Maybe what says 3 is 2, Pedro.
Okay, I can play that one. Actually, number 3 supposedly Step Beyond. Then
That's not the one he wants.
No.
Sorry,
What does number
Alan.
1 say?
It's called The Game. It's
No, it's not here. Someone must have taken it.
You must have dragged it onto
I'm
your
not
desktop.
kidding, yeah.
You're giving me a.
it's floating around on my computer. Man.
Hey, search all those pirate sites and see if you can find it.
Okay, what's the answer?
Well, I will say on that one, just quick text reviews. Loving this. When can we buy it? That's the number 1 question.
Well,
If you meet
I believe
if you meet Alan in the parking lot,
Pedro's
Yeah.
now selling track number 2, apparently.
Yeah.
yeah, I believe it's the end of July.
End of July.
that's when it comes out.
Lyricism. I truly miss songs that have actual lyrics. Thank you, Mr. White.
Yeah.
So,
Now
here
you
the-
helped
the,
write this one, right?
Yeah, I pretty much the chords.
Mom, beautiful.
Yeah.
Says here the drumming's a little weak. What do you want to do about it?
That's what typical texter.
Yeah, little drumming.
Those are our
Well,
friends,
You
by the
know
way.
what? Every time I write a song on the piano, I find it really hard to put drums to it.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Because you think of it in a different way.
Yeah. You just go, okay, now what do I do? It like changes. Yes.
And you wrote that on the piano?
I wrote changes on the piano, and then I went, how do I handle this on the drums? Because
That's one of my favorite songs, though. I love that. I love what you did with that on the drums. But it's
yeah,
different.
Well,
Yeah.
it took a while to kind of work out exactly, what it needed.
What's your favorite big Yes hit to play? Is it like Owner of a Lonely Heart or something like that? That the audience, that's a real crowd pleaser, or is it?
What? 90125 is fine playing all that stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's a bunch of them. I tend to like the obscure stuff.
You like the obscure. So all right. So the hits are you love the hits. No. Obviously the fans love them.
Sound Chaser, for instance.
yeah, that's what I want to see.
Look at you and
I
Joe.
want to see that live.
Do you know about the tropical hot dog? Do you know about tropical
I
hot
heard
dog
that,
party?
and I was wondering, what the
Are you
hell is he
curious? Do you
want
to hear
about?
more?
Captain Beefheart.
Yeah, we could play you more, Alan. We have a whole bunch of
We were
people.
talking about Captain Beefheart
I'm
the
not
other day.
sure whether
Play
I'm
cut
in-
2, Pedro. Oh, no.
Actually,
All right, get rid of that. Get rid of that. But
no,
but he
it's
was a
too early for hot dogs.
but he and Frank Zappa are credited with influencing the progressive rock scene back in that day.
I mean, one of my favorites, Frank Zappa. I grew up listening to him.
Also, Roy Thomas Baker did Mothers of Adventure.
Oh,
did
no
Frank
kidding.
Zappa. Oh, yeah, man.
Wow.
This
But
guy's list is
actually, a funny
incredible.
story about Zappa was when I got married to Gigi, we went to Paris for our honeymoon. Frank Zappa bought us our first drink.
Wow. Did he just happen to be there?
I was sitting at the bar with Gigi. We were going to have a Keel Royale, and sits right next to me.
Total-
And it was like
Total accident.
right out the blue.
Wow.
Invited us to the show, and he said, "Well, it might surprise you. The opening act is a dwarf and dog show."
Dwarfs and Dogs used to open it for Frank Zappa.
Not surprised at all, actually.
It doesn't
That
surprise
part
me at
doesn't
all.
surprise me as much as running into him at the bar.
Makes sense.
Wow. Oh, man. Yeah, he had some weird lyrics back in those days.
I'll
Clean and
say.
sober, too. You know that, by the way?
I did
Zappa?
know he was clean
Yeah,
and sober.
Never did any drugs.
That's
Really
why he was
not-
buying drinks for Alan and Gigi.
Right.
Yeah, but he's a really, really great guy. And then for the next hour, he burnt my ear saying how CDs held so much more information.
Well, this is interesting because one of the
And
thoughts when we just played that song, one of the thoughts I had was, oh, it's so refreshing to not hear an MP3.
Yeah.
Because even though we hear most of our music on MP3s,
Yeah.
and they have frequency response, they have treble to them, treble, in other words, crispness,
Yeah.
that sounded so airy and inviting.
Yeah, it's a digital kind of thing comes through, but you try and get rid of that. They have machines that get rid of
They
rid
do,
of that
yeah.
nowadays.
And then, of course, the old days, the albums were also even one more level of nice on the low end. But at least with a CD, it's with a lot more clarity than an MP3.
Yeah,
That's how people sell music these days.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Well,
know
that's why people should buy CDs.
It was a while back when you and Gigi
Buy this one.
got married, we should say Alan has a new title now too.
Are you Sir Alan of
He's
Brenton?
He's
Of-
grandpa. Grandpa.
Oh, you're
Alan.
grandpa, too.
Grandpa and grandma.
Oh, congratulations.
Bob, rock and roll and grandfather don't go together
Oh,
No.
sure it does.
until you hold the baby.
Mick is a great grandpa, Mick Jagger. So you got
Oh, he
nothing
is,
on
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Well, that's because he had many age inappropriate.
Oh yeah,
years
yeah.
on
He
it.
started
Yeah.
started early.
And so, is it a grandson or granddaughter?
Grandson.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. It's pretty incredible, when you get hold of the baby and stuff like that. Up until then, it was kind of rock and roll grandpa.
Are you going to buy the kid a drum set quickly before the parents have a
I've
chance
got
to say
them
no?
lined up.
Yeah.
He's got him a sponsor.
Get him a sponsor. Yeah, get him a deal.
No, I've got about 25 drum kits. I know where some's going.
Oh, you do. You do collect them, don't you?
Well, I don't get rid of stuff. Let's put it that way.
Alan White, the new Yes album will be out at the end of July. We'll play a lot more, and we'll play that Mysterious Cut too as soon as we can get it.
Yeah, well, I can send it by email.
All right. You can email it. Isn't that weird? All right. It's very good to see you, sir, and
you
good
too.
luck. And thank you for all you do. I was last at your benefit for OSO, and even though you were working your tail off all over the world, whenever Alan is in town, he does great community work, charity work, and is just a good person to have here.
It's a pleasure to do that.
Right.
Doing good.
Alan White.